Hey guys, Steve here, singledadfitdad.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make and use a sled from just an old car tire. Okay, a couple things to note. First, this is very inexpensive and it's a great way to train, especially with the spring and summer coming here. Getting outdoors, really a great way to get in some kind of unique exercise in, change up to your current program. What I'm going to do is just show you how I made mine. It's real cheap, real easy. All I did was go to a local tire store. Now, I showed up because I found that if you call them, a lot of times they'll say, yeah, I don't have any extra tires, so they just don't want to be hassled. So what I do is I would just suggest showing up, say, hey, just I'm trying to build a sled with a tire. Do you have any extra ones laying around that have a hole in them? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to have one for you. Depending on the level of your strength, you may want to get a bigger one. I got a pretty small one. It's just for a regular sized car. Nothing too fancy. It took me 15 minutes to drive over there, pick it up. And so once I got the tire, all I did was went over to Lowe's and bought an eye bolt, a washer, which is right here, and a drill. So I drilled right through this tire, screwed this right in. This cost me $3. Screwed it right in, and now this is very secure, as you can see. What I did next was, if you can see here, I got a couple of 2x4s here. I had these laying around. But if you want to buy them, it'll cost you less than $5 to buy these pieces of wood. It's kind of a pain in the ass to wedge them in here if they're sized correctly, but once they're in, they're not coming out. And so the reason we use this is because we're going to put our weights or sandbags, whatever, you can even put dumbbells on here, but you're going to throw your weights on here. That way it doesn't scrape against the ground and chew up whatever you're using. Then at Lowe's, what I did was I just bought some rope here. This is about 2.5 inches around, so it's actually not very thick. And I bought 16 feet. It cost me, I think, $11. And all I did was throw some Gorilla tape, just wrapped it around, kind of ghetto style here. But these are going to act as our handles. You can use duct tape, but I found my duct tape kept falling off when I was pulling it, so the Gorilla tape seems to work a little better. You can use chains or thicker rope if you want to, but this is pretty sufficient here. And that's all there is to it. It took me less than 5 minutes to, actually no, it took me a little bit longer. It took me about 10 minutes to set it all up because I'm an idiot when it comes to putting anything together. But real easy. This is locked in here. We just kind of loop this through here, wrap it around, and then we get to our workout. So again, just depending on your level of strength, you may want to get a bigger tire. You can do a lot more with a little tire, especially with one arm. You can throw it, that kind of stuff. But anyway, again, I think this whole thing cost me less than $20 to put together, a few minutes of my time, and now I can just throw it in my trunk and get a great workout in, which is what I'm going to show you now. I'm at a park right now. Happen to be at a rollerblade hockey rink here. It's not being used, so it works out pretty well. So what we're going to do is just a very brief but intense workout with the tire. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do with this. You can get real creative, kind of like the rock workout I did for you last week. We're going to get every muscle in your body working today. We're going to get your heart rate up, a lot of compound lifting type of stuff, a lot of pushing and pulling and dragging. Really great workout, really great for the heart, really great for building muscular strength and endurance as well. And as you can hear, it's pretty windy out here, a little chilly, but we're going to get a workout. I'm going to keep it to about 25 minutes or so. We're going to run through a series of exercises. I'm going to cut out all the stuff that you don't necessarily need to see. I'm going to show you just the movements that you can do. I'm going to do 2 or 3 sets of each. As far as the timing goes, I'm just going to pull or push until I feel like I've worked hard enough. So everyone's going to be different. You know, maybe it lasts 10 seconds for you, maybe it's 30 seconds. It's going to depend on the weight that you're using. I'm going to show you what I'm using here in a second. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so this is it. I've got my tire here, just a regular old tire. I've got a couple of 2x4s thrown in there to support the weight. What I'm going to use for weight today is just a burlap bag. It's actually something I bought at Target for 10 bucks for laundry basically. And I threw a sandbag in there. You can buy a bag of sand at Lowe's or Home Depot for less than $5, a 50-pound bag. So all I'm going to do is just take this bag, load it up in here. Now the weight is supported and we can get to our exercises. Alright guys, we're going to start by dragging this sled here. Just make sure you're properly warmed up, okay? You don't want to be cold when you start this. You're really going to be using a lot of muscles here, so make sure you do a full functional and dynamic warm-up before you get started, okay? Alright guys, we're going to do a tricep extension drag next. Make sure you try to keep your elbows in if you can. Alright, next we're going to do some rotational twists. If I were you, I'd take the sandbag out unless you want to give yourself a hernia. Remember, every exercise we do is going to get our lower body, work the cardiovascular system, get your heart rate up, and work the core. Right now I'm going to do some drags. Again, it's going to tear up my legs, lower body, especially my quads, but we're also going to do rowing, so we're going to get the biceps and back here too. You can go real heavy with this. do some overhead slams too, but I'll tell you it works a lot better if you don't have the wood in here. I'm just not going to take it out because it's actually a pain in the ass to get in and out, so I'm going to leave it in. But it's a lot noisier and it's a little bit easier if it's not in. Of course, we can't forget our push-ups. We're going to do some more rotational work. Just be careful of the eye bolt. Don't want to get hit with that. We're just going to do some straight overhead presses. Move the 2x4s so I can get my head through the tire for more range of motion. Again, a lot of the stuff is easier if you don't have the wood in there. Alright, we're going to do a one-arm farmer's carry. Depending on how heavy your tire is, will determine how challenging this is. This isn't a very heavy tire, so this isn't overly taxing. Just remember, whatever weight you use, try to keep your posture very straight. Keep your core tight, maintain neutral posture. All right, we're going to get some ab work in now. So there you have it. Nothing too fancy. Quick workout, a lot of great movements. Just be very careful with what you're doing here. When you're twisting and turning, it's pretty easy to pull something. So be very careful. Make sure that you're in a good enough condition to do something like this. Use a heavy bag if you're a little bit stronger. You can throw in as much weight as you want to drag, especially for those pulls. Yeah, there's lots of different exercises that you can do. I just did a handful of them here today, and give it a try. Let me know what you think. Appreciate you watching.